This is Joe from ArtAlienTV. Now, some of you picture zoomers, boomers, Gen Z, and Gen X are going to love this. This has absolutely blown my mind. Now, you may remember a week ago, a lot of you would have seen this video. Mars statues and glyphs, okay? This one here, with these statues on the front, right? Mars statues and glyphs, Easter boy. There's a bunch of things that I found over Easter during the holidays, and really clear, obvious sculptures or whatever they are. Right now, I've got that up here. This is the Gigapan for that, which is Sol 4144 and 46, two together here. These are raw. Here are the things I showed. Right. So most of you would have seen this already. Now, one or two of you have said that this may actually be a full face helmet. It could be. I have shown helmets before. It may be a statue, but it's kind of hollow. So if it's hollow, it may not be a statue, and it may actually be a mask or helmet or something like that. Who knows? But when I was making this video a week or so ago, I mentioned in the background there's loads of crazy stuff, right? And I said that it looked like there were structures. There may have been a row of structures up here on this ridge. And I spotted this thing here, just here. There's this weird curved object, right? And if you look at the top one here, that weird curved object is a little bit clearer and a bit closer, and it looks like a dragon or some kind of animal made of stone, like carved, right? Just there. I'll show you the magnifier. It's not very clear. There it is. I didn't even mention it in that video I did a week or so ago, because you can't really see it very well, right? Now, I've done a new Gigapan, and this will absolutely blow your mind. Well, it did with me anyway. But what I've done here, this is a new pan. This is Sol 4152, 4 and 5. Now, this main image is 4154, the one at the top here, and it shows that ridge at the back here. It's in black and white, but it's fairly clear. But most of these things are too far away still, okay? And we have that thing I just showed you, which looks like a dragon or something like that. Here it is again in black and white, a bit closer. And you can actually see that it's got a head here and a neck kind of curving round and a body here, right? I was like, wow, that's more like it. We can actually see more of it now. Now we have a whole row of weird things on this ridge up here, which look like statues and bits of structures and columns, that kind of thing, right? But they're still a bit too far away. These things up here look really odd. The way they're grouped, there's like a row of weird objects at the top here, right? Including this thing. Now I'm going to show you some close-ups of this stuff, and this is going to absolutely blow you away. It did with me. There's also this thing, which looks like a skull here, right? With a pointed snout there. Pointed kind of snout and maxilla there, right? And you can actually see that's a skull, but no real detail too far away. And there's also this thing, which looks like a structure or an entrance or something, right? But it's also too far away. Just here. We got blocks and a dark entrance there. Not much detail. Not very good to look at. Even with the magnifier, you can't really see anything, okay? So I went through all the recent cam images of this area, and I've been working on this thing here for a couple of days now. This is 4155 chemistry camera here. This is just one of the images. There's a whole set of them. And we have a skull, right? A giant skull. There's the head. There's that pointed snout, and we've got a row of teeth there, right? Then I went to 4152, and I found that entrance here. A close-up in sharp, well, pretty good detail. It's not that sharp. Here it is. Unbelievable. Now, when I show you the close-ups of this that I've done, it's going to blow your mind. And then there's another one, 452, of the dragon. This blew my mind. Check this out. Look at this. All right? That's what we could see in those other pans from much further back. This is a close-up. Here's that giant skull. Let's use the magnifier. Here it is. I've colorized it. You can see a row of teeth here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pointed snout. Eye socket would have been there. Quite small. Very large cranium. Pitted and cracked. Fossilized. That's ancient. Check this out. I'll get it as big as I can on the screen for you, for those of you on the mobile. There we are. Let's move it up a bit. There we are. Feast your eyes on that. Unbelievable, right? Absolutely crazy. Sol 4152 Cam. Whoa. We've got a dragon. And we have eye detail. We have a snout here. We have the neck coming round. We have the body here. This may mark a burial mound or some kind of monument of some sort, which has collapsed. A lot of this stuff we see on this ridge is ruined. We got this kind of sloping rock at the back here going right across the back, which makes it a little bit hard to see. It's a little bit confusing. Basically, we have a large sculpture of a dragon made of stone, but this is raw. This is what it looks like, right? No colour added to that or anything. It's just being enlarged. It's getting closer. It's getting really close. There we are. Let's get as big as we can. Look at that. Now, it's a bit blurry on this side, but more sharp on this side. That's because this is taken from 2 images. You can see this is a dragon. And it's not the first dragon spotted on Mars. There's an awesome one that Rami Barilan spotted a year or 2 ago. And I did a bunch of videos on it, and I've shown it a few times, which I still think is one of the best finds ever on Mars. But this is going to come pretty close, right? I mean, that one's got something in his mouth holding it. This isn't the first one, right? And I've shown lizards and other animals, carvings, dogs, cats, sphinxes, and all sorts as well. Go through my channel and check them out, because it's going to blow your mind. If you're new to this channel, you've really got to go back at least and watch a few of those videos to get an idea of what we're looking at here and the scale of some of these things. Some of them are huge. This isn't that big. I would say this is probably about 5 or 6 feet tall, maybe 7, I don't know. But it's not small, this thing. It's quite large. This thing is just astonishing, right? And then the entrance that I showed you, this blew my mind even more, because not only do we have an entrance here, let me go full screen again. And get in nice and close for you and get the whole thing on the page. There we are. Check that out. Now, this is colorized. The original's black and white, obviously. But this is an approximate color of what it would look like. In reality, it's probably a bit brighter. If you walked up to it, it wouldn't be this dark. But not only do we have an entrance with a big block in front of it here and a split one on the end, we got you sort of walk under there and then go in there. There's like an entrance going in that way. But we also have blockwork. Look at this here. This big slab on top is actually made up of separate blocks, like large stone bricks, rectangular. They're a bit irregular, but look at that one there. I mean, this is awesome. This is one of the best examples I've seen of Martian blockwork. And I've shown many. I've shown concrete with metal bits sticking out. I've shown blockwork, I've shown pyramids, I've shown sphinxes, all of it, right? And a lot of it's really big, a lot of it's quite small. This isn't that big. This doorway or entrance was obviously part of a structure that came out here, right? Now, whether that was a tower or a wall, a defensive structure, maybe, I don't know exactly. There's not enough of it left to tell. But it's pretty obvious when you look at this thing that it's artificial, because we not only do we have a nice kind of rectangular block here with a split end on the end there, but we have this blockwork here, rectangular blockwork. It's going really close. Now look at that. Rectangular blockwork, like stone bricks. Let's look at the black and white version. This is a bit smaller. This is a close clip. This has just been brightened up a bit from the raw image. It's going a bit closer. There we are. Now, it's actually slightly clearer in black and white, I think. Look at it. Just look at it. Does that look like a natural, random bit of rock that's just fallen off the mountain? No, it does not. It certainly does not. Absolutely insane. Look at the detail in here. We've got an entrance going in there. Now, could this be some kind of burial chamber? It's a bit elaborate for a burial chamber, I would say. This is part of an actual building. Here's the actual section of the Gigapan from those images that I've stitched together as well. A bunch of them here. Now, they're round images, so you get missing data where they join up, but I've managed to get this part sorted anyway. There it is. This is completely raw, right? This hasn't been brightened or anything. Look at that. Absolutely insane. Let's go in closer. Look at that blockwork. Look at those stone bricks. There it is. So it's really clear in the raw image. You don't really have to do anything to it, right? You might want to brighten it or sharpen it a bit or whatever, but Jesus Christ. This blew me away. And the fact that we have that at one end of the ridge here. So that's situated here on the Dragon Ridge in the back. There it is. And you go along the Dragon Ridge. We've got the skull here. Giant skull. We've got a weird thing here, which I'm not sure about. The giant skull is there. Animal skull. We've got a row of weird objects on top here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have close-ups of all these yet, but I may do in the next few days. I'm hoping the rover is going to take some more close-up cam images of this ridge. We've got this bit over here, the left side, where the dragon is, and we've got the right side, but we haven't got the centre yet, which is this bit, where all those things are, right? So we're missing all the close-ups from this middle section at the back, but we should get that in coming days. Now here's a close-up of that dragon from the ridge there. I've colorized it. It doesn't look much. It's too far away. But there's also this thing to the right of it on the ridge. Really, really strange object. Look at that. Now, I don't know what it is, but it's very, very strange indeed. And there's lots of things like this on this ridge line, which we haven't got proper close-ups of yet, but I'm hoping we do. If we do, it's going to be mental. There is some mental stuff. It's mind-blowing, some of this stuff. But the dragon is probably the best find of the year so far, I would say. Along with the entrance, which is to the right of it. There it is. A large stone dragon guarding the secret entrance at the base of Mount Sharp. Is this whole thing a structure? Does this entrance go right under this whole thing? I think it probably does. I think there was probably a large structure right here. And it's all kind of obliterated. And what we're seeing is just the back end of it. And there's probably a sort of little tunnel or chambers going back into this rocky outcrop here, this ridge, which goes up. And then along we have those crazy things at the back here, which we can't really see very well. Right, so I'm just going to flick through these for you before we go. There's the raw image of the entrance. You can see it there. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. There it is. It's completely raw, this is. There's that weird thing on the ridge, but this is colorized. Don't know what it is, but it looks very strange. There's the actual black and white clip of it there. There's the dragon from a distance on the ridge, from the main image at the top. Not enough details, but as soon as I saw that shape, I thought that looks like an animal carving to me, right? There it is in black and white. Here's the meme of that giant skull. This is really large. This is a couple of feet in size across, at least, I would say. I could be wrong, but I'd say it's about 24 inches. It's very large indeed. So this is like some kind of weird giant baboon type ape or something. I really don't know. I don't know, but look at the teeth here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 or 7. Pointed snout. Eye sockets kind of very small. There may have been more shape to this and it's kind of eroded and broken off, a lot of it. But it's been protected by the ridge. The ridge has actually protected it from being really badly eroded and broken. So that's cool. There's the dragon. I mean, this is astonishing. I mean, this is like something off Game of Thrones. Look at that. That's raw, okay? I haven't colorized it or anything. Jesus. Absolutely insane. Let's look at the colorized bit at the top. Let's get into the face area here. Snout here. Big eye socket with a sort of eye in there. I mean, it's very pitted and eroded and kind of broken up, but how's this thing even still there? I mean, what's holding it together? It may have an aperture going through it, like a metal framework inside, like holding that together, like a piece of metal going right through it, like a bar, like a bit of rebar. I have shown rebar on some of these things, right? So who knows, that may be reinforced. Absolutely mind-boggling. Look at it. I mean, honestly, can you honestly say that's natural? I really don't think so. There's a clip where I've stitched the two images together. You can see the sort of join line there, just about. They don't always match up brilliantly. The left one's actually sharper in this part of the image. It's getting close. Look at it. Look at that. Here's the meme of that. Look at the stonework here, man. Look at that. Look at the blockwork in there. Can you really say that's natural? I don't think so. It's getting nice and close for you on the mobile phones out there. Turn your mobile sideways and get a good close-up on this. Look at that. Just look at it. Look at this blockwork. Look at that entrance. Unbelievable, right? There's that on its own. It's close up. It's getting really close. So you could go in there. You might have to duck down. This is probably only a few, like 2 feet tall, maybe 2 or 3 feet, maybe. It may only be 1.5. Who knows? You'd have to duck down and go in there. A bit like that other entrance I showed a couple of years ago that was found by John Moore. That's only about 14 inches, 12 to 15 or something. But it may actually be a burial chamber entrance. They're not designed to go in and out of, really. It's just like an access shaft. Or it may, like I said in previous videos, it may also be just a ventilation shaft, but it looks a bit too good for that, almost. It's way too perfect just to be an air vent shaft. It looks like more like some kind of actual entrance to a chamber, like a burial chamber. And I've shown many. We're along the same area. We're not far from there. It's probably about half a mile. And there we are, there's the dragon. So I'll leave you with that image, just getting nice and close. And give you a good close-up of it. There we are. We have a dragon guarding the entrance. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.